on the Chris Miles Show. We are completely dedicated to bringing out the truth and exposing information to a much needed problem that needs to be exposed. Something seriously has to be done to combat this problem of immigrants coming into the United States and the borders are open. And the other problem is that the resources that created through the taxpayers are going to people who are not citizens of the United States.
She admitted she doesn't want to stop the invasion. She wants to speed it up.
What are those solutions? The solutions includes putting resources at the border to do what we can to process people effectively and putting in place laws that actually allow for a meaningful pathway to citizenship.
Process more foreigners and put them on a pathway to citizenship, which means they vote.
In a couple of presidential cycles, you'll be on election night. You'll be announcing that we're calling the 38 electoral votes of Texas for the Democratic nominee for president. It's changing. It's going to become a purple state and then a blue state because of the demographics, because of the population growth of folks from outside of Texas.
And while 6 million illegals are waiting for amnesty and voting rights, the census counts them. And the more illegals you have, the more money and power
and now,
the politicians
free rent
get.
for some migrants in Maine. Taxpayers there are footing the bill for new apartments built specifically for these newly arrived border crossers. Not only a free roof over their heads, they have at least, wait for it, 2 years worth of rent.
I don't know. I'm paying a lot of taxes from my salary, and I'm completely transparent to IRS and everything. So I think it's enough what we already paying, for them to support if we call ourselves a sanctuary city.
Have you seen anything like this happening in your neighborhood before?
No, haven't seen. No.
Do you have any message for President Biden and Mayor Adams?
Secure the border. That's the only message. Secure the border. Start working with the House and everybody. Republicans and Democrats have to unite on this issue, not separate.
You're going to have the same office for us.
That's right.
You don't hear any other community talking this plural talk.
That's right.
They strictly speak for themselves.
You got to.
The Chinese in Chinatown speak for Chinese, right?
That's right.
The Greeks in Greektown speak for Greeks.
That's right.
The Hispanics in Little Village speak for Hispanics.
That's right.
Rightfully so. And black people speak for black people.
Oh, yes, sir.
Black Americans.
Yes, sir.
We're not African American. We're not people of color. We're not black and brown, minority.
That's right.
BIPOC, none of that. None of that. This is about our people demanding the resources, just as you're giving these people, these newcomers who are walking into this country.
You're right.
And sister's correct. How do you take a new group of people that have paid no taxes, can't vote, and you put them in front of the voters?
I'm not going to pay them no damn taxes.
And so we say this to you, Mayor, Governor, President. If you think that they're that powerful that you have to acquiesce and answer to them over us, then you tell them to vote for you in these next elections.
That's right.
You tell them to support your Democratic National Convention. Because we're going to show you how we feel about the Democratic National Convention.
Turn it up. Thank you.
If you think you're going to have a peaceful Democratic National Convention in the city of Chicago while our people are starving,
that's right.
Stay tuned.
Now, we all know that this is wrong. On all levels, this is wrong. And this has created a plethora of problems for many people out here who are citizens. Once again, from one end of the United States to the other end, you have veterans who are living on the street. A lot of these veterans, I, myself, Chris Miles, help to feed. You have citizens out here who are homeless, need the resources, who might not necessarily be up to par where they need to be, but they're suffering. How could any person that's supposed to be of sound mindset, not understand and care about his fellow man. I have no problem with people coming into the United States, but there's a process. Get in line, go through the proper channels to become a citizen. You don't have the right or the wherewithal to come into something and to receive or to get resources when you haven't contributed not a goddamn thing. This is wrong on all levels. So yes, anybody that's of sound mind and understand what this is would understand Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, has to do something. This is not an issue of Democrat or Republican. This is an issue based upon what is right. That's what it's based upon. This is not a black or white issue. This is a issue of protecting the people who are black and white and everybody else in between who make up the United States, who make the United States what it is today. So yes, right here on the Chris Miles Show, hosted by me, Chris Miles, we're going to expose the problems.
The Supreme Court's ruling didn't say we had to
we're going to
take
expose
this down.
the problems.
It just said they could cut
and that's
it.
what we're doing in this video.
So they can cut it all they want. We're going to replace it. This is working. And in this park, there were thousands and thousands of people crossing every day. Thousands. I just checked. No one's crossed today. We got it covered. Mr. President, you say you want to secure the border. Texas has secured it. Leave it alone.